During Infinity War and Endgame, with the details on circumstances or even events pertaining to these features, ended the original era of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that had been built up for nearly a decade previously, and as a result are now considered to be some of the greatest American superhero-themed adaptations to have ever been conceived of. But during the films, there were certain aspects shown or depicted that did not necessarily make that much sense. In all actuality, though, they weren't meant to. But the speculative scenario is this: that time when Thor threw Stormbreaker at Thanos. Stormbreaker was depicted as the weapon which displayed Thor at his strongest and most capable, which naturally meant that he was also an extraordinarily powerful Asgardian god that had a personal grudge against Thanos for the attempted extinction of the Asgardian people, as well as the deaths of Heimdall and Loki. From dialogue mentioned on examples given, Thor, although weakened in some aspects, remained strong in others, and as a result was eager to fight and kill Thanos all by his own hands. Literally, from Thor's ventures throughout space onto the creation of the Axe with the assistance from Groot, Stormbreaker was an exceptionally powerful weapon, which was so powerful that its limits were never fully shown nor explained or even depicted in these films. This aspect of the unknown in relation to Stormbreaker would be important or infamous with the depiction of it against the fully powered or fully displayed Infinity Gauntlet when Thor finally confronted Thanos after returning from space on fighting through the holds with help from Rocket. Thor actually threw the axe and Thanos fired a pure blast of energy powered by all of the Infinity Stones, which did not stop Stormbreaker from cutting through the blast to eventually hitting Thanos and embedded within his chest upon its impact. But in the time since, there was a debate on if such a fate should have been possible. When Thor threw Stormbreaker at Thanos, popular opinion and semi-canon facts relate that the axe was being protected by the Bifrost essence when thrown, which added to its already formidable strengths as a weapon. However, opinions were split from critics as well as casual and serious viewers of the film, who saw the axe going through the blast by all of the Infinity Stones, which were at the time the most powerful aspect of existence within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Opinions had it that from serious watchers of the films and comic readers made claims that the concept of the Infinity Gauntlet was vastly depowered with its overall depiction in Infinity War to Endgame when in comparison to the comics of source material. Anyone wielding the gauntlet to use the stones would have to literally make a fist and consciously use one stone or multiple stones for whatever reason or purpose. This was mentioned through dialogue and noticed by audiences from the films, but this was also understandable as there had to be some sort of quote-unquote limiter to the gauntlet's power, because if the power were depicted exactly from the original Infinity Gauntlet series, then it would have been nearly impossible for the film adaptations of the heroes and heroines to have technically stopped Thanos. Regardless of the sentiment or opinions with Stormbreaker against an Infinity Stone blast from the gauntlet, consensus had it that the power of the axe varied greatly depending on the story it was used within, so the aspect of plot armor or plot weaponry was later explained for the particular details to Stormbreaker, on it being able to resist a concentrated energy blast from Thanos wielding the Infinity Gauntlet.